I think when it comes to change in our society, then the cultural sector has this very big benefit that it always is a certain state of exception. Culture is something that is considered always a little bit a part of our daily life. And this is not always good, of course, but it provides a space of freedom of thinking. It provides a space of alternatives. And I think the second important point is the cultural sector is populated with people who are very aware of what's going on, of the big problems, and people who are willing to change something. Otherwise, you wouldn't work in the cultural sector. One of the very strong non-economic values of the whole cultural sector, of course, is in the field of education. And I think the most important thing is here partnership. Partnership of cultural organizations with the official institutions of education can really add so much more energy and motivation. And I think this is really one of the things that we can bring into the education.
Cultural institutions can not only collaborate with educational institutions, they can also learn from them. Also, they can become educators themselves, facilitating the creation of knowledge in ways that conventional educational institutions cannot accomplish.
Is that enables you to break up the rules of the formal learning, and you can do whatever you want.
Their big potential is their focus on the in-between of practices that can create connections. This is both a great challenge and a great responsibility.
As a matter of fact, everything is highly situated. What does it mean education and what does it mean culture is highly situated within that context, within that community that establishes what needs to be done and what needs to be measured.
Building bridges is only possible with the right mindset. Culture can be an ecosystem of care, a new relationship between you, the other, your environment, and the universe.
The images of knowledge have been changing completely, and right now knowledge is everywhere. It's everywhere. You can teach, learn, share, produce in many different places.
The right digital platforms can also foster connections between culture and education.
The ability to overcome modernity is to be able to understand that complexity and that heterogeneity.
By fostering digital literacy and access, communities can be brought together from different countries and nations around a common topic. As we evaluate ways in which organizations and projects can contribute to cultural values, it can be a valuable practice to make more granular assessments about how organizations need to invest in these values.
You need to get the flow going. You cannot start from scratch every time. There is more science into that.
This approach could lead to the development of business models based on real needs and priorities and not merely on conventional transactional practices.
I think probably the biggest impact of this very broad and diverse field of cultural industries, creative industry, artistic work is the diversity. It's the openness. It's an area where everybody wants things to be different. I mean, this is what the whole thing is about, to create new ideas, to communicate ideas, and to take people along with it. And I think this dynamic is the very important core. This is the energy that we need as a society to really go into these transformations that we need.